players. We've got 2 undead players and 1 Night Elf. What do you think about the orcs are not being here in this patch? Like, especially, like, I thought they got buffed up a bit in this previous patch.
Yeah, well, the patch is after they actually qualified, so there might be that the orc players didn't get in. But I think we have a game going on, showing here now.
So let's get the action rolling up and get our first matchup of the day. htrt here playing with the humans and Hunter with his Night Elves. And we already see the Ancient of War being built up to start things off. And, yeah. Night Elves versus humans. What do you think about the matchup overall?
Well, normally, like, we have a lot of seen it a lot earlier, but we have seen very little from the new patch. Like, earlier, I would say Night Elves were quite favored. Humans were a bit on the weak side earlier, and the Night Elf was especially strong. But with this new patch, and it hit across the board on Night Elf, a lot of the key units, and humans getting some key buffs and getting some better mid-game going through. We can talk a little bit more exactly on the details of these buffs, but it's basically making the human like mid-game much stronger and more consistent.
Yeah, see already going for a little scout here with the Wisp, trying to find out where htrt is gonna be. And it was actually surprising that he hasn't really sent a human, any worker yet to scout out the Night Elf position. He's still sitting in his base, trying to get those buildings up and trying to get his economy flourishing.
Yeah, focusing more on the macro side of everything instead of the
or is he actually going to go for, like, maybe use the militia to clear some camps, or maybe do some aggressive plays with that? You got the Archmage, just get that Water Elemental to really help you out. And you can also use it, like, really efficiently for harassing your opponent's workers and really damage their economy early on, and, like, force action from the Night Elf player to react to that. And you don't really get that many units to actually protect yourself at the start, because Wisps don't really have any damage to deal with.
No, that's the thing about humans, like, or all the other races have attacking units. Wisps are basically blocking, and you can use them to dispel later. But mostly they don't have the attack opportunity as you can do here with, like, the militiaman, which is a short cooldown. The thing Night Elf has going for it on the creep side, though, is this forward ancient, as you see here. Basically, the Night Elf buildings can root up and be a big, menacing unit that can just tank a lot of damage going in here. And then you see them, if you do that correctly, you will gain a lot of advantage in the XP department.
He's got a nice +3 armor ring of protection picked up as well for the Demon Hunter. That's something we also noticed in the patch notes, that this is an item that can give you a lot of armor to get things off, and that can really pay off.
Yeah, and armor is very difficult to come by because, well, the items are randomized, so you need to find them somehow, and then you have upgrades for it, and armor can really make or break basically a hero fight or in a different fight here. So getting that item is important. You see here, though, from the human player here, just playing with this water elemental in the base, just making these wisps not be able to mine or farm wood or whatever they are. Just harassing, because this is basically a free unit. The water elemental is summoned by mana, which is, of course, is a resource as well, but being able to just use it this well and just keeping these wisps on the run at all times seems like giving me a huge advantage here.
Yeah, and getting a really good defensive play here as well. He does have the Footman and the Water Elemental, trying to get that one wisp out. He's just hiding them around the gold mine and keeping himself safety while harassing the Archmage at the same time and forcing him out. So that's a good move. Then again, can he actually take down one of those Footmen? He's trying to get out with low health and gets caught with the Demon Hunter, so that's some XP. Didn't even get the chance to deny the hero. Deny the unit.
And you see they're blocking with the Wisp here now, trying to get the second Footman here, because that's quite a gold lead as well, as long with the XP here. But he decides to back off. The thing, though, a lot of this, like, you lost the Footman, you lost a little bit of the Water Elemental using your mana and everything, you're just using time. But the thing is, htrt is not taking any harassment. His units are just building and farming and getting all the resources you need, and you start build up, attack up your approach.
You've got the blacksmith coming up already as well.
You're seeing already taking up to the town hall here, being able to go into the tier 2 units, being able to build up a stronger force here, and not going all in on the tier 1 units either, which Hunter had to do because he needed to protect himself from this harass.
And also, like, combat-wise, you're thinking you've got an Archmage going up against a Demon Hunter. You've got Mana Burn, and that's really devastating against casters overall. And Archmage you basically have the word in the name itself that you've got a caster for yourself, and mana burning his is well going to be really efficient. But then again, you're fighting up against the possible, like when you start to get to that level 6 and have that extra mass teleport for your assistants, and just keep forcing rotations and try to cause havoc on several parts of the map, like especially when we're soon going to be seeing those expansions coming up. Not quite yet though, but that's already like very far into the game, so we'll probably see if that's going to happen or not.
Yeah. The interesting part as well, though, he went with the Archmage as his hero, which is fairly straightforward. The thing is also, versus a Demon Hunter, yes, you can burn your mana, but you can cast the Water Elemental away from the hero, so you don't really get the mana burn effect that strongly.
Yeah, he also gets a nice amount of damage onto that shop building, but he does manage to finish it off, and now we got a real fight here. We've got the Naga coming into this fight as well. He's gonna have to back away because those footmen are really gonna take down these archers, though. He might actually lose when he's really close to falling. 30 health is all he has. Oh, 4 health is all that remains, so he doesn't lose it. But then again, he's just focusing on the Archmage, and if he loses this Archmage here, he gets the teleport off just in time. 7 health.
One attack off. Oh, that's close.
But really good hits, though. He is gonna lose one of his footmen here, and I think this is a victory in Hunter's book.
Trying to continue this advance of 4 archers and double hero. There comes the Naga from htrt as well to basically answer this other Naga. Going in there, the Archmage is just stealthed because it probably has low health. Everything.
Yeah.
They uses the potions to get up. Now focusing down this Demon Hunter to try to get him to.
He's got the Frost Arrows. Yeah, he's getting it slowed. He has to use the teleport scroll to get at least one hero out. But he's deciding to... Okay, he does get the Naga and all of his archers back to safety. And
well, basically can safe creep a little bit more here. So, like, the action went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and now it's suddenly just a little dull in the moment. Just can use that time to creep up, get a tome, get some XP going here, because leveling up is important here now. Because the guy that gets the level advantage on their hero can really push into the other phase, and that's how you win, basically. You have to kill the other person to win, you know.
And that's definitely the story of the RTS games. You've got the Ancient of War still hanging around with the group, with the rest of the force of Hunter. He's already got 33 in his supply. Wondering what kind of strategy he's actually going to pull off here. Like, what kind of units does he really want to put emphasis on? Because, like, we were reading the patch notes and looking at, like, the glaive throwers, the changes in the Vorpal blades and all that. When you can't really, like, get those homing missile stuff, like, that is...
Yeah, you need to change up a little bit what you can do. And seeing from HTRT's side, though, basically, he went for a pretty fast Town Hall, really solidifying also into the patch, because the patch buffs up Tier 2 units, which is basically the whole mid game. And if you then manage to get those Tier 2 units fast, you're really taking advantage of this buff.
He's gonna have to retreat with his Naga Sea Witch dropping really low. Might lose one of the archers really low health. Just needs one connected hit though. But at the same time, there's another fight kind of breaking loose here. There's another Naga taking a lot of damage. Forced to use a healing salve though. Get some of his health up there.
You see the Dryads here now though for Night Elves. Going with the Dryad strat. Dryads wasn't touched in the patch meetings. It's basically functioning the same as before. It just doesn't have the same support that it used to have, so might be a good choice to also go back into the safer strategy.
Yeah, it might be something that gets answered with Riflemen maybe, but a real big fight going on. Already one TP used up, and it's not looking really good for HCRT because he might just lose his Naga, as he will, and it's GG will play just like that. We see that game already coming to a close, losing the Naga there and also a couple units in that fight, and that's it. That's it for our first game.
Yeah, it's a fast first game over, and yeah, that's how it went. Like, the economy goes badly. You have a hero down. You have to wait a long time to get it up by the altar again, and you're just stuck there. So that's the first game going here to the Night Elf player, and just by the constant pressure, even though the early harass from HCRT.
Which was really good. That was exactly what HCRT was supposed to do, like get harass on those defenseless wisps, but he still wasn't quite able to pull it off. Like the Night Elves just came back and he was able to win those fights as well, and just really well microed as well during those little engagements that he took, and also forcing a bit of harassment into the base of HTRT as well, getting some damage onto the building and forcing rotations there.
Yeah, also the fact that HTRT, like, with this huge lead that he had in start due to, well, basically having a harassed free base and just being able to build up. We went for an early town hall, but he only had got a couple of riflemen out. He didn't really capitalize on that tech lead. And then with the archers and one dryad and a little bit and just good heroes and good hero placements from Hunter, just managed to sweep in and kill the human player.